Yo, what is going on, guys? KiiRz here. Welcome back to another episode of The Mix with New Life and KiiRz. Just kidding. It's the full-time pod. Just nobody else here. How's it going?
What's
Kidding.
going on, Tactical Kids? How we doing,
Hey, how's it
brother?
going? Mind blown.
Yes, sir. My bro.
And
So how we
you guys
doing?
today,
Pod.
man? How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic.
I'm blessed.
Newy?
I'm blessed.
Big phase win, you know?
Big phase win, man. First CS2 major. It's
Wow.
beautiful in the Royal Arena. Couldn't ask for more. You know.
I'm so jealous
looking
of
good.
every other esport, bro.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's
We
crazy.
get another year in Arlington. Probably.
Yeah, it is pretty much locked, right?
Yeah, I think Champs is like almost for sure gonna be there. So that's cool.
And yo, it's cool, bro. But like, this is my one problem about events in Arlington, and I'm noticing this because other esport events is being held there. It looks the exact same for every
Mhm.
event. Like they're not like they have a certain stage set up and they cannot change it for shit.
Nope.
And it's like, dude, spice it up a bit, man. Like I don't know, like change it a little. Given great venue, there's never been a complaint. There's always good events there, but yeah, man, gotta switch it up
So
a
you
bit.
get like CS Val majors and like Dota majors. They're in like big ass chapels, fucking like
Yeah, dude.
stained glass panes all around, dude. Like it's insane.
It's different, bro. It's different. Yeah, man. Fucking Counter Strike, dude. Like, but for real though, like it's cool. So yeah, FaZe took out the #1 seed. They're
Mm.
#2. Took out the favorite. So big win there. Now it's kind of looking like now the whole bracket's open. Cause now it's like okay, they're out of here. So who? Now it's really like who's gonna win. Before it was pretty much a team spirit to the end. So I mean, we got more games. It's the whole weekend. So we'll stay tuned in that. But Yeah.
I had a question for you guys, and I just want to know your take on it.
Yep.
And I was wondering like, who do you guys think is the most dominant or like not CDL but just esport player in any era? I was wondering that because I saw a TikTok that was like, um, Zekin now or
Mm.
Iceland tens, and obviously, as all things do, Val has evolved. So like the skill now is just generally higher than it was when tens won back in the day.
Right.
But I just think like back then, Tens' gap on everybody else was bigger than what Zekin's gap is on everybody else, and I think that's kind of how you have to look at it with eras. So I was just wondering like,
Right.
what player from what era do you guys think was the most dominant in any esport?
Zell, you want to go first on this one?
In any esport. Dude, honestly, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep my bias. I wanted to say Faker during
That's what
his during his go around.
It's hard to argue
I-
against
okay.
Faker.
It really is hard to argue against him. But like, I think I'm gonna go with Faker with an honorable mention of Formal. That dude,
Yeah.
like, he was
Yeah.
scared. Like, people were scared to go up against
Yeah.
Formal.
That's a great
know,
shout, bro. I think it gets
So
like swept under the rug that like he's a controller, like a console FPS player, and he doesn't play like on keyboard and mouse.
It's not
But
as
like, yeah, dude.
flashy, so like it's
That's
not,
what I
you're
mean.
not
Yeah,
getting
like
these
so
clips of like,
great shout.
dude. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of which, this is so off topic of this, but dude, I saw a clip of Tens. He's really like not even looking at, like he's looking this way. Dude is over here, and he
Yeah.
clicked on his dude. It was insane. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean
clip
that
that.
level of FPS shit is crazy, bro.
No, what is your take on it?
Just give me one second. I'm trying to figure this out. I was gonna say Faker for
Yeah.
sure. I mean he won Worlds 4 times in a row, bro, and like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like it's crazy, but the thing about it is then you could talk about what's his name? No Tail. That's who I'm looking at in Dota. In Dota 2, he won the international like 2 years in a row, and then went on a streak of just winning every major for like a year straight or
That'll
2 years.
do it.
And the thing about it is like back-to-back internationals is like insane. Like that's as crazy as a back-to-back Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like it's or any back-to-back chip. So. But I would probably stick with Faker, bro. 4 worlds in a row is insane.
Yeah. In the topic that I have here, I literally have Tens in Iceland. That was just one name that came to my mind, and then I just have Faker in general. Like, I think even now, like, dude, it's so hard to argue against Faker being the best esports player of all time. Like,
Yeah.
he just takes every team to the fucking promised land, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane. So that would probably be my answer too. Is Faker. I just
I
think
think the
he's just so
Sorry, go ahead.
dominant, especially talking
Yeah.
about dominance. I think
Mhm.
Faker's the one.
I mean, yeah. I think the best shout though is definitely Formal though. That was a
Yeah.
really good shout. Cause I mean, like, look at him. What he's now? He's a world champion in COD and a 2-time world champion in Halo, or just 1 time. He just won some he just won some events before he switched to COD, right? He didn't win the world.
I think so.
I think he won one.
See that right there. You know what I mean? 2 worlds in Halo and 1 in COD with multiple events in between each. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, he won in 2017.
For
Oh
COD,
wait.
right?
Yeah, that would
Oh
have
yeah.
been
Oh
COD.
yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Multi game world champion. Yeah. So it's one, I think.
But still, bro, like 2 different titles, that's also unheard of. You know what I mean? Like in any esport, there's not a player that went from one esport to the next and won the best chip, bro.
Well,
The
Shotzi. Did Shotzi win one in Halo?
I'll be right back,
Or
fellas.
was he just skillfully dominant?
no, I think he did win one. He won one for sure.
He did for
Um,
sure.
yeah, that's a good shout. I think I kind of said it wrong. I guess in controllers, it's happened. It's happened. Well, this Crim 6 too. Crim did it.
I think controllers is like really like probably the only way that it'll happen.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
I
that's
think
kind
that
of what I mean. Is
transfers
like,
so much easier than like game to game with KBM.
yeah, absolutely. I guess you
Especially
could
with
say all the Valorant pros though, right? Like the Valorant, a lot of them are XCS. In NA and EU, a lot of them are XCS pros. Or
I think a lot of them
nowadays,
didn't
not, but
find a lot of success in CS though.
right, and that's kind of what I'm saying though. Is like that shows that you, it's just not the same.
I
In
agree.
controller, like you said, like in controller, for some reason we've seen multiple people back in the day when COD first blew up come back, right? You know what I mean? Or like
Mhm.
cut to COD and leave Halo. Um, But yeah, I mean, all the it's that's what's so funny about it in that conversation is like you got Tens who was a struggle CS or CS pro and
Yeah.
now is almost undoubtedly the best player. You know what I mean? In a different title in Valorant. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh, I don't think he's necessarily the best anymore.
Okay, so let's dive into that. Who's the best in Valorant right now?
Uh, I mean, I guess it's hard because they just won, right? Like, who else do you even say? But Zekin is like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's so hard because roles in like Val kind of determine a lot. So like,
Right.
it's hard to say that. Like, that's like in COD, obviously, like it's like kind of the same thing where like an AR versus a sub, their stats are just going to generally be different because they're doing different stuff on the map. So
Absolutely.
that's like Tens is playing controller and shit now, while Zekin is on the duelist, so their stats are going to be different. But you
Right.
could definitely still say Tens. Tens is still up there for sure. I know, like end of last year, I think that almost everybody considered Demon One the best. So
Yeah, he had a
he
pretty
could still
nasty.
be up there. It's just hard because sample sizes this year haven't been the greatest for every team.
Right. Right.
Because they play like one
No,
game
that's sick.
6 months.
Yeah, that's insane. So we move on.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I like that explanation. That's thorough analysis there.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir.
what should we move on to next here?
I mean, I picked that one, so you guys can pick the next one.
Are we done with the 90s?
Fuck no.
I'm done with the 90s. As a youngin', I'm tired of old heads arguing that LeBron isn't the best player of all time. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
I think
Oh, are
he's
we
the
gonna
best.
go there then?
I think he's the best.
Are we gonna go there?
I'll go there, man. I'll fucking man. Call me a LeBron sexual. I don't care. That's my glorious king. Okay. The same way
Okay.
that in 10 years I'll be defending Scump as the greatest or the best of all time. I know that's what Jordan fans are doing. Okay. But I think I just think it's like that's just how it is. Now, again, you can look at it for their era. How much farther ahead were they of their era?
Mm.
But I just
Yeah.
think 1-to-1, Jordan to Braun, I think LeBron is just a better player. Because I just think the
Okay.
game has evolved more. He can do way more. That's my take. Now Jordan could still be the greatest because it's hard to argue those rings, undefeated in the finals,
So, we,
and
so
he
we're
was the
making
best
that
player.
distinction between greatest and better.
Yeah.
Are we making that
Yes. Yes.
distinction?
Yes.
Because yeah, Jordan by far is he has to be the greatest.
Yes.
I
But
would say
I think LeBron is just the best player of all time
a better
as a
player.
player. That's what I think.
I mean, Jordan got Finals MVP, League MVP, All Star, first team All NBA, and
Defensive
Defensive
player.
Player of the Year, all in one season. Only player to do it, I think.
I will say this. I will say this. Do you guys truthfully believe that a lot of those years LeBron didn't win MVP? He wasn't the best player. I think some of those years he got snubbed. Truthfully.
Sure,
I don't
mean,
like the
probably
snub conversation because people get snubbed all the fucking time. Like
No,
fucking
yeah, for sure.
yeah. So
I
think
mean,
he
yeah, Kobe
also.
got snubbed by Steve Nash.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Kobe-
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, like Steve Nash had a pretty like decent season and got that's
Yeah,
crazy.
Voter
Crazy.
fatigue is ass,
I
bro.
won't even get
don't-
there. I won't get there. But continue. My bad. I just want to say because like that's like I don't like going back and saying like, well, he got robbed of this MVP or he got robbed of this because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
At
it
the end of the
happened,
day, he didn't
but
get
like
it. That's
he didn't get it. Like
I
he
can-
did. It's like it's all the fucking bullshit about anybody winning a fluke chip and shit like that. Even like I'm talking about the Lakers. I used to bullshit about that shit about like if the bubble chip, whatever. Oh, it's a fake chip, but it's like the chip nonetheless. They
Mhm.
got the. It's an NBA. It's a, you know what I mean. They were all there. So anyway, continue about the Jordan LeBron conversation.
personally, the best player of all time, in my opinion, is neither of those two. Um, I don't know why it's a contrary opinion or a hot take, but it's Kobe. It's Kobe.
I could see Kobe. Yeah.
It's Kobe.
Yeah.
Now, the knock on Kobe is he wasn't very efficient.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he played like a lot of hero ball. He took the reins on himself a lot more, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, five rings. What is it? 2 MVPs, 2 or 3 MVPs, Finals MVPs. He can play both sides of the floor, defense, offense. He can pretty much guard 1 to 5 for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe his passing is not as good as LeBron's. I'll give LeBron's vision more so. But I mean, and not as athletic, so to speak.
Yeah.
But Kobe wasn't flying, dunking on cats.
That
He
it
could
is
shoot
always
over
hard though.
90,
Like
you know.
especially when people are like, "Oh, well, if Jordan and Braun played one-on-one right now, da would win." Like it's hard because obviously they're not the same position, so like there's just going to be advantages one way or another.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if LeBron wanted to, he probably could just run at Jordan and just like kind of overpower him. But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard.
I'll say this.
I do like whenever bringing up GOAT debates. Personally, obviously, it's fun to just be like, "Oh, Jordan, whoever's the best. Oh, fuck you, you're wrong." I think it's way
Yeah.
better to look at it by era, like who is the best of their era, because it's just so hard to compare now. Because it's like, well, Jordan wasn't good at 3-point shots. Well, then it's like back then people weren't shooting like that. So you put him in this era, would he have developed the shot? You could argue one way or another. You could say no. You could say yes. He probably would because it's Jordan. Like at the end of the day, he's still the greatest, if not an all-time great. Like that's because they can all develop to whatever they need to do at the time, which back then wasn't fucking throwing up 3-point shots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's definitely better when with any GOAT debate to look at eras, in my opinion.
It's definitely fair, man. You bring up a good point in the sense of that of just like it was different times.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it was just different times. Think about hockey. Think about any sport.
Mm-hmm.
Games were different. Let's bring it to
Faster
something.
pace now.
Let's bring it to a 4-time gaming sense of COD. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
all different back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm gonna get back to here. It's like eras were just different, bro. So like game styles were different. Gameplays were different. If we want to get rid of what are we saying? The 80s or the 90s? Is that what we're saying? The 90s?
Yep, the 90s. That was the trend.
Then
That was the trend. We
bro,
sang
but
with
those
the
motherfuckers were
90s.
yeah, but those motherfuckers are actually dogs.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers that like they actually played physical basketball. You know what I mean
Yeah.
and shit like that. They played basketball, and then let's go years prior to that, it was physical basketball. We started getting to nowadays. barely fucking attack the rim, bro. And motherfuckers are just and flopping and this and that, but you know what I mean? So yeah, just different eras, different times of basketball,
All the
bro. Different.
youngins now, man, they don't care about that bully ball. You know, they want to look cool about doing some shit. They want to hit a nice crossover, a nice hezzy. They don't want to do anything else. They're trying to look cool
Kobe
throughout
walked
the
off.
street.
Kobe walked off the floor. I think it was his pinky. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shit was dislocated off, damn near off his hand. Walked over there, walked off. Boom, got to pop back in, walked right back in, and played the rest of the game. You see that happen to? I'm not gonna lie to you. Almost any player in the league, he would be sitting for at least a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least a week. Precautionary. We want to make sure. I understand that, bro. But at the end of the, I also have an opinion where it's like when you're playing sports for a living, you're also in the entertainment industry. What the reason you're making 10 to 15 million dollars is because there's 30,000 people watching you in this or whatever, right? So I don't know, bro.
That's why I hate the All-Star game now.
There's not a lot of dogs, bro. There's just, and I think that's why I also will always put like Kobe and Jordan on that edge. Is that dog mentality? You know what I mean? That shit. Like I'm not discrediting like Bron is that guy still, but it's just like, bro, like I don't know, bro. Guys sitting half a season and shit like that. Half seasons. I don't know.
There's also something to be said about this like load management and missing games because Kobe's big thing was, there's that kid that their parents couldn't afford for them to go to the Lakers game every year, so they saved up all year for that one game on his birthday, let's say.
Yeah.
And he goes to the game, Kobe's sitting for really no real apparent reason aside from, he just has to get a little bit better or like,
Yeah.
health wise or whatever. But he's still able to play. We're preserving him.
Yep.
He was instrumental in these people came to watch us perform, like you said, New, like great point, entertainment. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're paying these guys millions of dollars to play basketball. Doctors don't even get these guys contracts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like millions of dollars to do something that honestly, if we eliminate from this world, it means not like the world's gonna keep moving. Everybody's good, right? So the least that they can do is, oh yeah, you're a little bit banged up. Show up to the game, play the game.
Yeah. Even if like even on like a what's it called? Like a time management. If you play 30 minutes a game and let's say you play 18 minutes, 20 minutes that game, you're going out there, you're trying, bro. You're trying to help your team. And it's like I want to come back to this point of entertainment, right? Is it's like cuz there's that whole bullshit about like shut up and dribble, right? And, like don't talk about and like that like but bro, it's nothing to do with that. It's just like you're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money because of a large amount of people watching you play a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why. You're not getting paid that you are that good, but it's not because you're that good. Because like you said, let's take it all away. Let's take the glitz and glamour, the cameras and everything out of it, and you're just that good at the rec hall, bro. No,
That's it. Yeah.
What's gonna happen, bro? So the reason why, like, so yeah, like that's Kobe was instrumental in that, bro. Like I want to play 82. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
Speaking of that, there was a lot of controversy, especially this year, of like the new rule that they added. That you had to play, what was it, 72 games minimum
Yeah,
to
it was.
be eligible
It
for
was
league
up there.
awards.
Mhm.
And then some players, I think especially later in the season, were like, "What is this bullshit? Da da da! I got injured. Like these are real injuries. Whatever." I mean, I think it's a great rule, bro.
I think it's a great rule.
Yeah, at
But
that
it's
point, beggars can't be choosers, bro. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want to get paid millions of dollars, you got to give the fans something. You got to
I
be
think it
there
was
for the fans.
Embiid the one crying the most because like he was like front runner for MVP for a bit, but it was looking like he wasn't gonna meet the requirements. So he was like, "Well, this rule sucks. Like only a few players actually agreed to this, whatever." So I don't
And
know.
Embiid has bigger problems. He needs to get out of the second round
Oh,
than MVP. Like,
that's
bro,
it,
we've been
bro.
talking about this guy is the best player in the world every year. Like he pretty much can be.
no, should have
He
been
can
Jokic.
be the best. Case closed. But somehow, some way, with
Yep.
James Harden, with all these guys that he gets, can't get it done. Can't even get to the finals. Just get to the finals.
Yeah.
Just
Pretty
get to
sure
the
you can
finals.
do that. Yeah.
Bro, Jason Tatum took Al Horford or whatever. Get out
He
of here.
did take him to the finals. Holy.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jason Tatum's definitely rookie of the year. So away from serious debates, I have a list of 5 pros, CDL pros. One of them isn't current, but I want you guys to blind rank them based on what they did in the CDL era. So not
Okay.
like their whole career, just
Okay.
CDL. So let's
Yep.
see if you guys
Okay.
can agree on this. The first person I have is the human turd Octane.
Okay. So yeah, blind ranking means like you can't change. You just gotta
Nope.
put them there and leave
Yep.
them there.
Yep. You don't know who I have on this list. I could have all shitters or I could have the goats. Who knows?
Okay. And now here's the thing. The key thing here, bro, to me is the CDL era. Because if it was anything else, Sam had some great seasons outside the CDL era.
Mhm.
But the first time Sam did good was Vanguard. Well, he played fine, but he didn't place good for 2-3 years straight in the
You said
CDL.
5 for me?
I have 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
top
So
5.
there's 5.
I think I'd put him like 4 or 3.
I'll put him 4.
4? I'm with that.
Okay. Next is Mr. Investment Skies.
Oh,
Oh,
So
actually,
5?
CDL.
Yes.
CDL.
Just CDL era, right? Like so. I feel like we've been talking about Caesar Sky since Black Ops, bro, or since Cold War. Sorry. Like about how good he was, but then it was the same problem about not really placing amazing. I don't want to put him at 5. I would say he's mechanically a better player than Octane. I'd be fine with putting him at 3.
I just feel like if I put him at 3, I'm gonna get like the next
You gonna-
pick is we're gonna get shit on.
Yeah. We're doing this together, right, AJ? Or are we
Yes,
doing
yes,
separate
together.
lists? Okay, let's settle 5. Let's settle 5. Let's settle 5.
That's 5.
Okay, yeah.
Final answer is 5.
5, yeah.
Okay. Next one is Paco.
Oh, like it's one or two. It's 1 or 2, right? Well, 2. There's some,
Yeah.
I feel like a Simper and a BZ coming up here at some point, bro.
But I can see in AJ's eyes right now the trolling that is happening.
Do you want to put him 1? Do you want to just like
I don't
lock
wanna
him?
make it that easy.
Do you want to
but-
lock him 1? I want to lock him 2. I want to lock him at 2.
I mean, okay, so when he got on, has he played throughout the whole? He wasn't Black Op or
He was in
He
Cold
had
War. He started
Modern
Cold War.
Warfare 2019.
Cold War. A little
Okay.
bit into Cold War he started, right? Because he had to get over.
Yes.
So what has it been? It's been Cold War, Then what,
Vanguard,
Vanguard?
MW2, MW3.
MW2, MW3.
1
He-
MW2, 1 in a yeah. He won an event in Vanguard too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think they did on. Yeah.
I think it was like Major 3 or 4.
Yeah. 2?
Let's put him 2.
Okay.
All right.
'Kay.
Next is Dylan Envoy.
World champion.
So you guys got 1 or 3.
Did amazing. MW19 was like a legacy year for him.
Yeah.
Even like he had a crazy year that year. Cold War was kind of
He's
shit.
gonna do it again. He has the potential to do it again this year too. They have a good squad.
They do have a good squad.
But is he
But
he
just
better?
putting him over Paco, exactly, right? So that's the yeah. I'm fine with the 3. I'm fine with the 3. And if we get cheese right here and get Doug Sensor Martin-esque vibe or Persia or some shit, then we're shocked. We got cheese, but
Yeah, we'll
I'm
put it
fine.
at
3?
Man, that was definitely a decision. Because the last player is Zellium. So
Yeah.
Zellium is your 1.
That's what I'm
Zellium
talking about.
is your 1. I
That's
mean,
what
I
I'm
think
talking
that's a
about.
great list for the overall.
Yeah, I think so.
CDL.
I think so.
Come
on, Zell!
That's a good list, though.
I think so.
Dude, I think that's pretty much perfect.
Man, you guys almost trolled putting fucking Mr. Bueno above Octane. That would have been
Yeah.
one of the biggest trolls of all time.
Yeah.
Skill-wise, like I feel like he's been just more like a better player, but Octane still's a world champion in that era.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
winning majors in that era.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
absolutely.
I was thinking
It is what it
maybe
is.
We
Good call.
stay on CDL.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
want us to draft a CDL era S&D team. So we're gonna do this in order of how the cams are again. So it's gonna be Zell, me, and then Newy in the order.
Yep.
And we will snake it.
Oh, it's gonna be me first.
Yes, you first. S&D team, just S&D.
SSD, yeah. Oh man, oh man, oh man. You know I'm going with first pick. I'm gonna start off with my SMG. Abizi.
Damn.
I'm taking Abizi.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. I am gonna take an AR off the table, and I'm gonna take Cell.
Yeah, that was gonna be my pick too. Actually, but I changed it up. I had to pick a PZ, but that's a good pick.
Okay,
pick.
you take Cell.
Yep. Sells my first AR.
Okay, so we got a sub, we got an AR. I'm going for a really crazy pick here, but if this is an S&D team, I don't think we're losing
You
right
get
now with
back
our
to back. You get
ARs.
back to back.
I get back to back, so
Yes.
okay, I'm taking Illy Inder as
Mm.
the AR, the second AR,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then as the second sub, I'm taking Paco.
Damn.
Taking Paco. Okay.
Damn.
Both
Alright.
you said you took Abe, right? Is that who you
Yeah.
took, Zell? Yeah, first blood assassins, bro. There's no way we're going 4-3 every round, bro. We're going up.
I wanted
That's it.
Paco or Abe. That's
Yeah, bro.
okay. I guess I'll take I'm gonna take Shotzi as my SMG. He's gonna find those routes, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and his IQ in SND is actually like him and Illy,
Yep.
bro. They especially when they're on the same team, bro. Their SND game is
Yeah,
crazy.
fuck
They
you
just
guys.
know.
You guys aren't getting Zio. Fuck you. Fuck you, Newy.
So you said Shotzi. So I had Abe.
You get back to back.
And did you say CDL era or just
CDL,
like
just CDL. So this is just
CDL?
during their CDL time. How good they were
Okay.
at S&D.
You said so. I'll take Draza.
Okay,
I'll
and then you
take
go back.
Yeah, you get one more Zell.
So I have Abe. Draw. Actually, can I change my Draza and put Scrap?
Sure. We'll
Sure.
allow
Okay,
some changes. We'll allow
Sure.
some changes.
Sure.
Sure. No problem.
I'm putting Scrap. So I got Abe, Scrap, and then I'm going to put. I need a flex. That's kind of who I want. I mean, maybe not. I'll say Pred.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
like that. That's a good pick.
I'll take AG.
Okay. I'm trying to decide. I think the last person I want is gonna go under the radar. So, I'm just fuck, man. I'm just gonna take the raw power of Simp. Just raw gun
Simp.
skill.
Okay.
Oh man, I totally forgot about Stimp. That was clean.
Okay, so what? I got Illy, I got Paco.
I'm hoping you don't take my last guy that I want. I don't think you're thinking the same way that I am right now.
I think I'm gonna take the New York sub duo. I'm gonna take the Bulldog.
That's good. That's good. They're already tried and true, you know?
Yep.
That is true. Oh man, oh man. Um. Wow.
Wait, no, you still have one more, right?
Wait. Who'd you take?
No, because he went back to. Yeah, no, he still has one more. Yep.
You still have one more.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, do I go back to back right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Taking it.
KiiRz. Oh, my bad.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm going KiiRz, and then I'm going Dashy.
Okay. All right, and then on my flex, I'm taking Kenny.
Nice.
Great S&D player. I
Oh,
think he's gonna
so.
pair well.
Damn.
This dude was so stunned.
Wait. You hold on. Wait for you to get. It's lagging a bit right now.
The Scuff Cast.
Hello.
Okay, one sec.
Oh. I think you're good.
Hello.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. It was bugging on my thing too. So I have Pred. I'll take Sib.
Nice.
I'll take Sib.
So what? Zell, your team is what? Your team is Abe, Pred.
So Abe,
Sib.
Pred, Sib,
and Scrap as your team.
and
Right?
Scrap. Yeah.
And mine is Simp,
Yeah.
Shotzi, Kenny, and Cell. And then Newy's is Hydra, KiiRz. What else did you have? Dashi
Ilinder.
and Illy. Man,
Oh.
those are some good S&D teams.
I think so, man. I
I'm
couldn't
just going
agree
straight
more.
Slayer, man. I mean,
So what?
I said I'm just going straight like Slayer. Like we're overwhelming.
Yeah,
Get that first blood. Blitzing. Everybody's blitzing.
yeah. Your team
Sick,
in
bro.
HB would have been crazy too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right.
So as artists yourselves, I wanted to get your guys' opinion on what do you guys think is the best rap album of all time?
Ah.
Or even like a top three.
Even like. No, let's keep
Okay.
it one.
That's
Okay.
good.
Or do you want to do three? Do you want to do three?
I
I want to
I'm
keep
out.
it one. Keep it like super like. Make you think for a second. Maybe three is better. I don't know. I need to see. I gotta
I
put
already got.
my face. Alright,
I already
you
got
got
mine.
yours?
Yep.
Alright.
The Carter 3. The
Carter
Carter 3.
Dude,
Yeah.
Carter 3.
you know what?
by Lil
No
Wayne.
bullshit. That's what made me put this on here. Because as a youngin, okay, as a young blood, young buck, okay, I had never fully listened to the Carter 3, the whole album, the whole way through. And I just did that recently, and that shit is fucking orgasmic, dude. That shit is goated. Oh my god.
Bro.
And it's crazy because you don't even realize like you've listened to all those songs usually probably like separately and like as singles.
Yeah.
And you realize, oh my god, these were all on one album.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blows your mind. It blows
Yeah.
your mind.
It's a crazy fucking album.
Because I saw some dude on a podcast, because obviously everybody can get podcast equipment. Shout out us. He was talking about how the Carter 3 isn't a classic rap album, and the album itself isn't actually good. People just remember the time that it came out, and he thinks that carries it. And I thought that was so faded. Because even listening to it now, I'm like, holy shit, this is insane.
Yeah, that's a faded take. I think that thing went like 8 times platinum or something. So I mean Lil Wayne had like he was pretty much what like Drake or like, whoever's the biggest star right now was. Like he had the rap game by the balls. Now, honestly, I have a bias because I lived in Texas during that time and I'm in the South and that's our type of music. Lil Wayne's from Louisiana. So, I mean, we love him over there. So I don't know if the sentiment was 100% the same more up north or whatever or in other places, but what Wayne did on that album was impeccable. Impeccable. It's flawless in my opinion.
Speaking of Wayne, I don't know if you guys saw. This is again off topic, but he was at Drake's show, right? Drake brought him out, and people were clowning him because he had like a what is it, teleprompter, like where it like shows all of the words for the song,
Yeah,
and, like all of his lyrics.
Yeah, he needs
They were
that.
clowning him, but I was saying like, bro, freestyled like damn near all of his songs. Like he's not gonna remember that shit. It's not like he wrote it down, put it in memory, went into the booth, spit it. That was freestyles, and even then, like. Motherfuckers haven't seen the interviews of people like reading back his lyrics to him, and he's like, "I said that." Like, dude, come on now. This should have been known.
No, it's
Isn't it like he like has like after each recording session, it's like 150 to 100 songs.
Yeah, it's
like,
a stupid number.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a stupid number, bro.
People who don't perform, they just don't understand. Like, dude, like there's songs. Like I had a kid that I made a song with, Sims Day. Shout out to Austin Sim. And he's like, "Yo, we should do a video to this song that we made like back in 2016 or whatever." And I was like, yeah. And I was like, damn, I don't even remember the lyrics to that song. Like, I have to go back and listen to that song like tonight and be like, oh, that's what I said. Crap. You know what I mean? Like, we write so much, especially when you're dialed in and you're at that level of like Wayne where you're obsessed. You write so much, you forget all of it, man. And he doesn't write the same things twice. He doesn't like using the same words, the same bar, the same phrases. He tries to avoid that as much as possible. You also mentioned the freestyle thing. Like, what do you expect from the guy?
Yeah.
And that's why he
I
might
was
be
going to say
great.
he's a human, but he said we are not the same. I am a Martian, so maybe that doesn't count. But
Newy, what's your take then? What do you think is the best rap album?
Dude, that's the Carter 3 is such a good shout. Thing about it is you go through Wayne's discography or whatever, however you fucking pronounce that word. There's a lot of shit in there. I'd say just because of me and like how much the album meant to me, I'd say College Dropout. That shit,
Mm.
just production wise and shit like that. Like it was to me, it was one of the first times I really saw a motherfucker cut and chop samples the way he was doing there, bro. And like just like raw, even just like I'm going deep into it, but like even just like the mixing and the production on the album is so raw. It's like because like as Kanye went on from there, then he went to you know what I mean. He started getting into crazier shit, bro. You know what I mean? Because then late registration, and then graduation, shit like that. Graduation was all fucking wild,
Yeah.
and the 808s, right? But that was
It's-
such a raw album, bro, where he was just like spitting, bro. And even when you watch Yeezus, you know what I mean? When you watch that documentary, you see that first episode of him walking into label meetings with this album, trying to like pitch it. It was such a raw album, and that's why I fuck with it. It just has such like a the songs are all good on it to me. That's like a top to bottom. I don't really skip. I can't skip it if I'm being honest. Like most songs, it's just top to bottom. But yeah, I don't know, bro. That album is very special to me.
Kanye is so crazy to me, bro. You think we'll ever get like another like because he was a producer at first, big time producer, right? Like imagine if Metro Boomin just came out, started spitting on these beats.
Yeah,
Like that would be insane.
it'd be pretty fucking gnarly, bro. And that's the thing, right? Like, but that's why Kanye was so cool. Was like he was a producer, but he didn't really want to be a producer.
Yeah,
Like he liked to produce, but he wanted people to hear him.
yeah.
Like yeah, I make raw beats and that's it, but like bro, that guy,
Kanye's a different animal.
yeah,
Like, I mean, technically, like I kind of started off that path. New started off that path too. We were producing before we were making music. Like we never even thought we would ever rap or sing or do anything like that. I was just making beats. I was just trying to get into music and do that kind of thing. And then I was like, yo, let me write something, and it clicked. But what Kanye is able to do, like Kanye is able to see things that don't exist and then create them.
yeah.
Sounds, vibes, genres, like everything that we're hearing now is for the most part like it's a product of like him pretty
Yep.
much. And
That's
so I
crazy.
like,
I always see Kanye up
Yeah.
there with like most influential rappers. I always see him up there.
yep.
I
If not,
think
people think he is. I've definitely
right,
seen people think that he is the most influential.
right. I
Yeah,
think
like him, Wayne, or and Soldier Boy is up there too. People sleeping on Soldier. But
all
go
jokes
ahead.
aside, yeah, no, like I was just gonna say for Kanye too is like or Ye whatever. My bad. My big problem with people about when they talk about him is they kind of discredit him as like an actual lyricist and like a bar spirited too. You know what I mean? Like it's they the way they attack it seems like he's more of a vibe guy and his production's crazy. Like, but bro, like I don't know. Like I want to go back to like talking about College Dropout and shit like that. You know what I mean? And like those early albums, like yeah, sure, he wasn't spitting Kendrick and Cole and like give Nas, Jay's back in the day, whatever. But he's still spitting. That motherfucker's still writing good songs. And even the ones that are funny, nobody else could say what he just said and get away with it on a record. You know what I
Poopity
mean?
scoop type
Type
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Best
So
diss
I
track
it's
also
of all
feel
time.
like it's like there's more to be said about lyricism than just like being like lyrical, spiritual, middle. Like
exactly.
it doesn't. Yeah, like that's great lyricism. You used like big words. Kudos to you. You got a dictionary. Like that's not
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
found a thesaurus, or and you went on Google and said synonym for happy, and you found a fancy word to use and rhymed with it. Like that's not necessarily like that impressive. Like cool. Kudos to you. But it's also about simplifying it. Like I think the quote is like geniuses explain things in simple terms. I think there's something to be said about that with Kanye. There's so many lyrics where he said something and it just flew over my head, like, and it just could have just sounded like, oh yeah, he just said like something funny or whatever. And then I think back at it and I'm like, wait a minute, like what? Like even when Wayne, for example, said
Yep.
like life is a beach or life is a beach, I'm just playing in the sand. Like I just thought he was talking about life being a bitch. And then I just that whole sand part didn't register to me. And then I was like, oh, the wordplay with that it's still a pretty simple bar. It's
Yeah.
a simple idea, double entendre.
Yeah.
But it's very profound. So
Yeah.
I think even when Kanye's doing that funny stuff, it's also like comedy too. There's also like creativity and art in being funny.
Yep. Yep.
You know? So
Well,
it is what
even
it is.
just wholesome lines like the couldn't afford a car and her daughter Alexis. You know what I mean? Like shit,
Yeah,
like just like lighthearted shit, but like that's a bar, fam. That's a
that's
bar,
crazy.
dog.
That's
Like
a
so,
great.
it's like yeah, light shit like that, bro. It doesn't have to be like you said, literal, spiritual. Look at me, I'm talking about the government and big words. Like yeah, no, it can be yeah. That's fine.
Speaking of it, it
I
isn't on
like
the
to use the term
topics.
lighthearted.
Yeah,
But since you guys are both artists, I might as well just pick your brains for all the listeners out there.
why not?
Are there anybody
You
you
know,
like? Are there any hot takes that you guys have about music right now, or in general, about music in
I think
general, or any
we
artists right now?
I alluded to the one about the Soldier Boy one. I think people just like view him, and of course he has his antics and stuff, and he's funny. I mean, he's like he said, he's definitely not that lyrical, spiritual, or whatever guy. Soldier Boy and Bass God,
Lil B.
Lil B.
Yeah,
People need to give them their depths because you don't get these little yachties and these little trippy reds. You don't get the internet rapper, that social media rapper that we have now that's dominated the hip hop scene. Without them, they were the ones in the gaming. Like you don't even get us. You don't get 4 time. He had SODMG gaming. He was on Xbox Live back in 2006. You know what I mean? And so
running
I
shit.
think he's up there, top 5. Um, all time in my personal opinion, and I think that could be a hot take.
I think that is a hot take, or at
That's
least for
definitely
youngins like me, because I've never heard anybody speak about him with such high regards personally.
Oh
Growing
yeah,
up,
for sure. And I mean, look at TikTok right now. Look at like all these like songs that are getting big because there's a dance or something associated to it.
yeah.
When Soldier Boy came out, dude, I remember, man. We were so poor. We didn't have no internet, no cable or nothing. So I didn't have like much music or like MTV or anything like that. So everything that I got was like from linking cats at school and like going and hanging out at the playground. So I remember I went swimming one time. Out of nowhere, everybody's like, "Oh, crank that Soldier Boy, you!" And I'm like, singing. What is this? Like just
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like what is this? And the whole world was doing it. The whole world. And then it became crank that Batman, crank that SpongeBob, crank that Looney Tunes. Like everything that you could put crank that after, they made a dance to it because
Right.
of Soldier. You know, bathing apes, Bapes. Like people don't they forget that Bape, Soldier Boy put on Bape. People weren't wearing no bathing apes. It got resurfaced now as more of like a clothing thing, but there was the shoes.
Yeah.
People forget about the Bape shoes. Like Soldier Boy was hands down just as influential as all of them other cats, in my opinion.
That's yeah. That's a good. It's a good take, man.
it's a good
I don't
take.
know. I think
think
it
it is
goes
a
like
hot
you
take,
said.
but it's a good take.
It's a hot take to the core, bro. You go to real thing. Like the thing about it, what makes it such a hot take is you go to like a old head, I guess, for example, right? And you say that like, yo, Soldier Boy is my top 5. You're gonna get flamed. He won't even let you get a word out for 10 minutes before he's gonna start naming all the albums from all the like cats that he grew up listening to,
Yeah.
which respectively are great. But like the thing about it is like music and hip hop and everything is not just rapping. It's not just this. It's far more than that, bro. It's culture. You know what I mean? And what Soldier Boy did is culture. He created internet culture. You know what I mean? For what he was doing, it was emotion, bro. Even to this day, like out of nowhere, bro, you'll just see him every couple years pop up. Last year was Rick and Morty or whatever. The year before that, right?
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, you don't see him for a while. Time before that, back in like 2018, it was Drake. Like you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like so, it's like he's just and he pops up
It's
and
like the
he's doing
Fousey tube of rap.
type shit. Low
Like
key.
imagine he hasn't dropped anything of stuff like in terms of music, like currently, he hasn't been relevant at all.
No.
Yet somehow we haven't heard any sort of a scandal like or any sort of a headline like Soldier Boy's going broke. Soldier Boy is poor. Soldier Boy is looking for this. Soldier Boy, he's handling his business. He's done everything that he needs to do.
Yeah.
And AJ brought up a good point that kind of like, and you brought up a good point because you said the old heads. AJ said, well, like, I'm young, so I didn't really get to experience that. So I feel like he's in a weird middle inflection point there where, like, if you were in that era and then you can look out, because it's easy for us, like, now to be like, oh, social media, like, everything's online, the internet. When Soldier Boy was doing stuff on the internet, do you know what YouTube looked like?
Yeah.
YouTube was not YouTube today.
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah.
it was MySpace. It was what Facebook. I don't even think was a thing. It was MySpace.
Yeah.
And he like to that idea of let's put it on the internet, like let's be viral. He pretty much created that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I love to Soldier Boy, big Soldier. We'll have you on the podcast one time if you're watching this.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
He
absolutely,
obviously is. He was one of those 25 for sure.
He was 100%, or one of his affiliates.
Yeah. His agent
Sure.
watched it. Let him know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
It's actually crazy because I didn't even start listening to rap in general until I was in grade 8. I missed a lot of shit, bro. And
Right.
then my introduction to rap, it wasn't like nothing crazy like Kendrick Cole. My introduction was Logic, bro. That's who.
Right.
That's the first rapper I started listening to, and I
Right.
think it's dead ass because it was during like the era where Logic was like almost blowing up, and that was when he was also like kind of tied to Phase for a
Yeah.
little bit. And I heard his song. I think it was Flexecution. I
Mhm.
think I was like watching a Phase Adapt video, and he said like go stream Flexecution at the end of it. So then I listened to Flexecution, and then like that's when I started listening to rap a lot more. Which
Yeah.
is crazy because you guys grew up with completely different shit.
Oh
You
yeah.
want to know something cool about Logic? At one point, there was a consensus. It wasn't even a hot take or nothing. This was probably like what 2010, 11, 12 kind of thing like that. Logic was top 5 in the game.
Mm.
And I think that was the point. And that was when people were talking about like M um M when M had his run with Wayne with the rock stuff and like the more like pick the world up, I'm gonna drop it on you, like that kind of era kind of thing.
Yeah.
Logic was in the conversation in that. Logic was.
I was
So
a big Logic stan back in the day, bro.
I love Logic. I love Logic.
Under Pressure. Oh, I
Under
fucking
man,
loved that song.
come
Holy
on.
shit.
Whole album.
Yeah,
Oh
that
man,
whole album.
bangers.
I will
Bangers.
say, AJ, you saying that you got into the genre late and everything, but I do want to say, I think we say it a few times when you start just randomly singing in the fucking chat, but you have dumb good music taste for real. Like
Thank you,
sometimes
bro.
you'll be singing a song and I'll be like,
He
how
knows
do you
that?
know that song? Like, you know what I mean? So like, even if you got there late, I will say you've done a hell of a job of catching yourself up on a fuck.
I've been trying to, dude, because obviously it's so much easier for me, especially with how I've grown up. I just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll check Instagram. Oh, new Drake album dropped, so I can go listen to that. But for all these
Yeah.
old albums that you only really hear of now from word to mouth, it's not the same. So like,
Right.
it especially helps with how much content I consume. Of like these are top 5 albums, these are top 5 songs, and then like
Yeah.
also who I associate myself with, like you two especially, because y'all are heavy into music. So you guys will be
Right.
like, man, yo, Newy, you remember this song from back in the day? That shit's so fire, da da da. I'll
Right.
be like, yeah, I got no clue what they're talking about. So then I go back, I listen to it, I'm like, damn, this shit is fire.
Right. That's fire, dude. Like, yeah. Big ups on that, bro.
Yeah, actually, like, cause I'm finding that I'm getting lazy too with like even just discovering new music. So for you to go back in time and be like, yo, let me like look at these guys' discographies and like check out College Dropout and see like what was that? Like you might not be able to catch the oh god, jeez, but you might not be able to catch the initial vibe, but you definitely like you're understanding the greatness of those lyrics or whatever.
Yeah.
How to fit
Speaking of
this.
which, just for myself, do you guys have recommendations? Because I always hear people talk about Wu Tang. Now, I don't know where to
Wu-Tang.
start with that.
I was
Wu-Tang.
never super into Wu Tang. I got the respect for them, but I never like deep cut their albums or anything. So I can't give you the best.
I mean, if you're gonna go there, really listen, cause those guys are they're serious, and then listen to it with like a mentality of like kind of like a grunge almost. I don't give a fuck, anti-establishment
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thing. If you listen to it in that mentality, it's kind of like listening to NWA. Like I'm not gonna cap to you, I wasn't really a big NWA fan. Um, I did just their cadence, their rhyme scheme. I'm not really the biggest West Coast rap guy myself. Um, I like Kendrick because he's not super West Coasty in terms of like his cadence. Like he has that West Coast influence, and of course he does have those records. But like when I listen to Kendrick, I associate him more with like East Coast rap as more than in terms of like his style.
Okay.
But like you know, you have to put yourself in that frame of mind of where they're coming from, and then listen with that in mind. Because yeah, Wu Tang, those guys are serious. Maybe we have to have a segment of that like on another podcast where it's like the best rap groups or something. Or I don't even know. Or we can have
Yeah,
like the best star
the
groups.
best.
Or
Yeah, that'd be
Jonas
fun.
Brothers,
Yeah.
whatever.
You said Joe Buddy. You say Joe Buddy?
No, I said best pop groups. I said Jonas Brothers.
Oh, I thought you said Joe Budden. I'm like, wait.
Dude, I was like, what?
Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. No, that actually be kind of fire. Wu-Tang's fire. It's that East Coast shit, right? That
And imagine how many times like Cream has been sampled, Cash Roots, everything
Yeah,
around
yeah.
like that. That's iconic. So
and they got that like that following that you actually wish for as an artist, which is that like cult following, which
Dude,
is like you
even
don't you
just
don't
like Hex, how he talks about these motherfuckers are
yeah.
like they are
Yeah.
second comings of Jesus, bro.
And that's the thing, bro. Is like those are the kind of fans you want, cause like you don't have to drop an album for 20 years, bro. But if you go on a tour, guess what? Sold out in 5 minutes, bro. Because they've been listening to that. You
and
say
it's
what?
not. Don't they have the most valuable album, like the unreleased one that Martin Shkreli? I guess I
Yeah.
think it got seized, but
It got seized now, but yeah, they have the most expensive actual record ever.
record.
Yeah,
And yeah,
that's
maybe
crazy.
with him and maybe his people, or I think there's like 2 copies or something like that.
Yeah,
Somebody else
yeah,
got it, the
yeah.
copy or whatever.
It's like 2 point something million or something like that
It's
for
crazy.
just the record itself, for the same music that you would hear anywhere.
Crazy.
Regardless, man, that is crazy.
So, do you guys as artists like when you listen to a song, you guys think that you just pick up on things that other people wouldn't? Like certain like things with the beats or like certain the way they say shit, like the cadence of their words or tones that they use to help get messages across. You guys think you just pick that up easier? And was that something that you guys developed over time? Or was it like even early on, super young, when you would listen to a song, you would go tell your boy like, "Oh yeah, I loved when he did this," and he'd be like, "What are you even talking about, man? It's just about the beat and the bars or some shit
Right.
like that."
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely like half the reason why like I kind of got into music in the first place, because it's always been a thing where I just like went deeper, like I deep cutted it. Every record I ever listened to, it was like I was looking at everything, bro. Especially like in a band and stuff like that, you get to a point where, to an extent, it almost ruins music, bro. Because like sometimes you start like you'll listen to a song and like honestly the song could be good, but I just don't like a bass part, or like I don't like let's go into like hip hop. I don't like a verse and the cadence he chose, and I'm like I can't listen to the song for the chorus or something. So absolutely, bro. Like I definitely listen to music, I think, different than like the mass public, and we get reminded that pretty often as a band too, is like even when we're writing music, and like our manager or something like that, or just people around us would tell us like, you guys got to understand that like this song sounds amazing, y'all got to chill, step back, it sounds good. But when you get to a certain point, and Zelly can attest to this and probably keep going on this point, it's just like you listen, you get so intricate with listening to songs, because it's like it's I don't know, a song isn't just a song anymore. It's like big tree, and you can see it in front of you. You can see all the stems. You can see, okay, and then yeah, I don't know, bro. Music is a crazy thing now, and especially in the past like 8 years for me, it's gone from like I used to do it a little bit and like be like, yeah, okay, yeah, this cool drum part, this is interesting, and now it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like I listen to an album and I get like 3 songs in, and then I have to listen to those 3 songs for like 2 days because I got to figure out a part or figure out, yeah, I don't know.
I'd have to agree. I think for the lyric side of things,
Hmm.
yeah, from a young age, I was picking up on cadence, metaphors, rhyme schemes, different words that were being used, to stories that were being used or whatever. I remember listening to like Good Life and Homecoming.
Yeah.
I listened to Homecoming on the bus in 2nd grade every single day, like like religiously, like 3 times over, every single day. Like that was my record. That's not a record that a 2nd grader would listen to and try to
Yeah.
and understand.
Yeah.
But that I think came natural to me. But more so when I started hanging with New, and then especially like when I watched New perform and stuff, I'm listening for, oh, did so and so go off key? Oh, this snare, like, and that's been more developed over time. It's actually funny because like I'll be chilling with my girl and I'll be listening to music or whatever, and I'm like, babe, did you hear that snare? And she's like, what? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you don't have that ear. No, my bad, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like that's what excites me, or the little subtle melody or the little ad lib or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So that's what I listen to for sure.
Yeah.
So, what
Absolutely.
those small things that you would say mostly artists, especially you guys, like pick up on? What's like the most underrated thing that can kind of make or break a song for you guys?
I'll tell you the
Drum.
most. You said drums. I could say drums for sure. I'll say the absolute most underrated thing I think in any song ever is bass. And whether that be 808, whether that be
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
it is,
I meant 80. Yeah, bass. My bad.
like yeah,
808.
like eight, like whether it be 808s or in a rock song, just the bass guitar. It's crazy to me how much like people like don't pay attention to that shit, bro. Because like I'll show you guys one day. Like I'll come over for a watch party and I'll bring up some songs and I'll show you when you play a song and then you take out. We'll talk about hip hop for the 808s or like the subs or whatever, right? Dude, the song sucks. You know what I mean? As soon as you take them out, if there's parts that meant to have it, right? So it's like I think bass is the most underrated part in a lot of songs. For the most part, yeah, bass.
Yeah, I retract my statement. I retract. I retract. I retract.
Because
If you don't, yeah, if you don't have a good bass, good 808 or something like,
yeah,
it's over. It's
you can
over.
put a kick and clap to a good bass line and it will still sound good. Like if you have a good bass line, you could put like a boom, ta, and that's it. Boom, boom, ta, and it will say good bass will make that sound like the craziest drum part ever. So it's interesting, bro. I don't know, man. This is
Yeah,
topics you could talk about for hours, bro. Hours, hours,
Definitely.
hours.
if you guys want to move on, um, the last thing I'll ask you guys about the music is I might be a dumbass, and I assume that it goes the way that I'm thinking, but like, kind of, how does the process of making a song go? Like, I'd assume from an outside perspective, you're making the beat that takes you however long, and then you kind of sit down to write. Um, but how much does the beat kind of influence what you're writing about? Because obviously each beat is going to have a different mood and a different tone to it. Does it influence it a lot? And like, if so, if you already had bars that you had like kind of thought of where you
Yeah.
wanted to put them in a song, do you kind of just scrap those or try to make it work for your beat?
You go first though.
Obviously it's like it's variable. It just depends on who you are. Like you said, like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, those guys, they go in there, they just freestyle it, and they write off of a beat. I know guys that I remember we used to be in the studio and guys wrote the song first, and then they're like, "Oh, this beat's sick," and they try to put the bars on top
Yeah.
of the beat, but it's not flowing because they didn't know the timings and everything like that. Um, and if I'm gonna speak for myself, and new life knows this better than anybody. I don't come up with no concept before I write. I don't do none of that. I listen to the beat. That vibe gives me what it is. I find the melody or the cadence of my rap, and as soon as that first few, like that first bar or two, I write that through. That's what the song's gonna be about, and it just goes
Yeah.
off on that. So I never go in there they saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make a love song or a love record." Now, I might go, "Okay, I want to make a love song," and look for a specific type of beat or type of vibe. Maybe that might be the extent of it, but very rarely I do. I just go with the flow, and the beat really guides me. Guides my melody, guides my cadence. So that's how I do it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of people like that's pretty well my method too. Like the most like structured thing I would do before I went down and sat down and wrote a song, if it would have to be like I just went through something and I had like and I was like, oh, I need to write about this right now. Like I have a crazy I don't like Zelly said, I don't like sit down and I'm like, man, what a rough day. And write about how rough my day was. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Zelly said, it's like, yeah, usually it's the beat that actually yeah.
What
Sorry, bro.
happened there?
Oh,
Damn.
What the fuck? Oh, I see why. Because I have this is powered by the PlayStation.
oh shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the PlayStation was on, and so it
Oh,
just went to died, and I just turned it off. I think. There you go. All right, go
my
ahead.
bad. Oh yeah. Now, like Zelly said though, like usually it's like I'll sit down, I'll hear a beat. Like I usually, if I'm not like making a beat, and I'm just looking at beats, I'll listen to like fucking 50 beats, bro, before I find the one. And then like usually what it is a beat genuinely makes me think about a thought of what I was gonna write. Like kind of I think what Zelly was saying. Like I'll sit there, I'll hear a beat, and I go, this beat is giving me a song that I need to write about this situation, or sometimes make up a situation. Because that's also a cool way to make a song, bro. People don't like like a lot of your favorite songs are fictional situations, like you know what I mean? Like maybe not in hip hop, but like a lot of songs out there are just like writing about almost like making a script right of a movie without the camera and making a movie. You're just writing the song, right? Or singing the song. But yeah, man.
And
It's
furthermore on that though, I will say, I will preface, or not preface, I'll add a caveat to my initial point. That's the majority of my writing process. But one thing that I had to adjust, and I'm starting to actually do a better job of it now, is being more structured. Because I remember, and shout out to my big bro Rich. He was with us
wow.
from the team day one. He put us through the grueler. If anybody gets through Rich's music camp, pretty much, yo, you're a real one. Because this guy will make you work from 5 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I was going to class right after the studio kind of thing, falling asleep in class because of this guy. So shout out to him. But I remember I wrote a song and I was just I just when I looked back at it, I just went on a tangent. Like nothing really made sense. And he's like, dude, like it sounds cool, like you're rhyming cool, but like you just talked about a shorty, and then the next bar was about economics, and then the next bar was about like it wasn't coherent. And I was like, oh, what did you think about it? You're right. There wasn't any sort of a flow or subject matter or some constant in there. So I am doing a better job of doing what like New Life said earlier, where it's like I went through something that day, or maybe I'm going through something, and I'm going into the songwriting process talking about that particular moment rather than just like, oh, let me hear the beat and I'm just gonna start writing off of it. Now, luckily for me, even when I do that and I just go off script, I just do my own thing. It's like Ultra Instinct. It just so happened when I open my eyes, I defeated Jiren somehow. So that's how it is. But I'm doing a better job of being a little bit more like structured with what I'm trying to do for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, man. I like to hear.
Sorry for picking you guys' brain on it. I'm just, always
Dude,
been
No,
I'm
that was
down. I'm down for those conversations every podcast if we'd like. We can go deeper every time, bro. Music is endless hole, bro. Pause, I guess. I don't know.
no Diddy.
Yeah, no. Is
Segue.
That's
that
the
the segue?
segue. Wow. Man, somebody
He
somebody
did it.
fill me in on this. Somebody fill me in
He
on
did
this
it.
because I've
He did
I've
it.
seen like small things here and there. I don't know the full story, so somebody fill me in on this.
Allegedly, for the record, for legal purposes,
Yes,
allegedly
allegedly.
he has done it. Allegedly, we do not want to be sued for
But what
defamation
did
on
he
this.
do?
Right,
Somebody
right,
fill
right,
me
right.
in.
Alleged.
Oh, where do we begin? Well, for starters, he's always had like talk surrounding him. He's always had some sort of controversy surrounding him. When he got into the game, he had a few business guys. Like he had a business guy. I forgot his name. I just watched this documentary yesterday too. Um, it'll come up wherever. But that kind of put him on, and he ended up taking his spot as the CEO of this record, or like as an exec. Later come to find out, dude dies mysteriously. Biggie, Tupac, all that stuff, Diddy's involved, surrounded in that. And then he has a whole string of like sexual assaults allegations,
Yeah.
um, trafficking allegations, and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of crazy because he was at one point the most valuable man in hip hop and music, pretty
Yeah.
much. He was a billionaire. He's a billionaire. And like it was like Jay Z him. Like you know how the competition in like the business world is like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it was those two. And he's a fantastic producer. But there's a lot of just sus things that are happening. I mean, even Justin Bieber, there's rumors that he might have groomed him. They called it the flavor camp, I think. So he'd find stars, especially at a young age. He was really genius at finding like young talent and like growing them and maturing them and helping them in their music and stuff. Then he would do this thing where he would have what he called the flavor camps, and pretty much like you'd stay over at his house, his place, and you'd write, and he would help you develop. Which on the surface is not like the worst thing. Like, bro, if you know hindsight's a bitch, so regardless of what we know now or what's transpiring now, if I was a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid and the biggest music producer in the world is like, yo, come stay at the mansion in LA or whatever in Miami, we're gonna get to work, we're gonna write, we're gonna hang out, whatever, da 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 da. Like I'd be like, oh, that's dope, because you wouldn't think that somebody of that echelon, especially when you're that young, and back then, especially where like people weren't getting Me Too'd and things like that were like a thing, you wouldn't think that that person would like do anything to like harm you like that, and kind of be perverted. But it turns out even Usher was saying on a podcast, like it wasn't like he saw anything like crazy, like because Diddy's known for having like eccentric parties and stuff, a lot of drugs, a lot of sex, a lot of stuff like that. He said he never really saw like anything crazy like orgies and stuff like that Diddy's known for doing allegedly, but he did say he saw some things. He saw some things.
That's an interesting thing to say.
And I think Denzel was saying, like, I don't know if it was specifically towards like Denzel Washington. I don't know if it's specifically towards Diddy or if it was just towards like the whole Hollywood party scene. But he said, "Yo, once it gets to 12 o'clock, dip. After hours, you do not know. You do not want to know what happens in those places."
That's crazy.
So, I personally, as soon as he shorted his own stock, to me, I was like, yeah.
It's true.
And apparently, the plane too. They found the plane has the materials on the plane, but not him. So they took the plane somewhere else so that they can't extradite. They can't get whatever.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
But he's still in the States. He was in Miami at the airport or something, pacing. So
what the fuck, dude?
Oh,
I haven't read up on it enough to say too much, but he looks very allegedly guilty.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course.
Very much so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I don't know, man.
Yeah, I haven't looked at
I don't have.
I mean, he also does some such things like, why is Meek Mill jumping like this and you're going, yeah, I get it, daddy. Get it, daddy. Whoa. Like,
no, you actually like, it's one of those moments where somebody gets exposed for something and you go back and watch all the social media videos where you thought he was being like a wholesome, nice dude and he's actually just being hella fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Hundreds of those of this guy Diddy, bro. On Twitter, bro, I scroll, I see, and it's just like, wait, that, and it's like famous people, like you said, like fucking Meek, or he's with like, bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Even there's that video with him with Usher, bro, and they like just worked out or whatever. Like, yo,
bro,
he's being like hella weird, bro. He's like, yeah. I don't know, nah, I don't know, bro. He looks guilty allegedly, Holy fuck.
He really does. So, in my opinion, I'm a man of the due process, innocent until proven guilty. So, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, if you may, whatever you go by nowadays, Diddler.
That just makes him sound allegedly guilty. You don't want to be at the Diddler's house.
It's all speculation. It's all speculation. But yeah, at the end of the day, he hasn't been served his process. He has to go through court. He has to do his thing. But even then, because I can't look at the guy like, for example, OJ and say, yo, you didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, the motherfucker didn't he have a movie or a book come out and it said I did it?
Yeah, he said, what if I did it or something? Like,
that's
if
crazy.
I had done it. Like a whole book about what would have happened if he, like, make this up. You can't make this up. Oh, good old America, huh?
And hip hop scandals are always crazy.
They're getting worse every year, bro.
Bro, but what if I told you though? Like, so people are also speculating that he might be a Fed. Like Kanye been saying Diddy's a Fed.
Yeah, bro.
Cat said it. Like everybody's saying that he might be the scapegoat for other things that the higher ups are holding, and so he's the fall guy essentially. Yeah. So he was pretty much cooperating with these people, but there's other secrets and there's other things that are going on behind the scenes that they have to distract us and psyop us away from, because there's things that it's better that we don't know. I'll just put it that way.
So you're saying
it's better that we don't know certain things.
The Illuminati is real.
There are things that it's better that I do. Do you want me to live tomorrow? No. Cat Williams said it. There's two sides. Rose is playing ranked right now,
Is he?
or is he just listening? I see him in the ranked runs. Anyways, it's all good.
That'd be so trolly, dude.
Yeah, man. But nonetheless, like, there's just things that like there's a good side and there's a bad side. Like, and I'd hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but these Hollywood people. I lived in LA for some time too. Hollywood is different. It is different, man. That world is crazy. What they do.
It's a scary world out there,
Man,
bro.
fuck it. Never mind. I'm not gonna. I was gonna go crazy. I was gonna go rogue. But I'm not trying to hinder anybody's careers in this call. So we'll just leave it at that. Allegedly, all of this stuff had happened. Illuminati, if you're listening, I don't mean no wrong. Send me the contract. I'll sign it.
What time? That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Who was it? There's a rapper that was like, "Yeah, I signed it." He's like proud of it. He's, "Oh yeah, I signed the deal with the devil." No, yeah, I don't care. All right, cool.
Oh, the internet, bro. Motherfuckers doing anything for anything, bro. For 100 views, dog. That's fucking comedy. All right, we're moving on off that. We got some more shit to talk about.
Did you see Diddy's segment on Nickelodeon?
No.
Yeah, man.
No, I didn't see it.
Holy moly!
It's bad. Huh?
Okay. Oh, bro, like these kids are trying to wake up like a kid or whatever. It was like during like that Amanda show kind of thing where it's like sketch comedy for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine that tag team: Dan Schneider and Diddy.
Yeah.
The double D's. Anyways, but the Legion of Doom. If you
My least favorite.
Anyways.
Deadass.
But so yeah, the kid's like asleep or whatever, and like they're trying to wake him up and like, what should we do? So they poured like, it's probably just milk or something or whatever, like a prop. But they acted like they poured spoiled milk on him, and the kid still didn't wake up. So they're like, he's not waking up, and he's like, you know what? Let's ask superstar recording artist P Diddy or whatever. And so P Diddy's just there, like in another, like, I don't know, like part of the set or whatever, and he's like sitting on like on a lawn chair drinking like a drink or something, and they like ask him, and they're like, you know what might make him up? This helicopter, and it's like a toy helicopter, and they're like, oh, and he goes, put it down his pants. And so like they go and they're like, yeah, okay, and they put it down his pants, and it doesn't wake the kid up. And so they go back to Diddy, and they're like, he didn't wake up still, like it didn't work. And then Diddy's like, I know it will help you. And he gets the remote for it, and he says, use this. And then they started the motherfucking helicopter in the dude's pants. And then the kid, I'm like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Yeah, these people have to know good, bro.
Fuck the allegedly shit, bro.
Whoa, no, allegedly.
Slide.
PR manager, Newy, come on now. Allegedly.
Yeah, bro. I guess I need. Yeah, that's insanity, bro. Like, holy shit. Okay, my bad. Allegedly.
No. You straight. We ready. We put our disclaimer out there. This is all entertainment, guys.
Yeah.
It's all it. Yeah.
Everything we say is allegedly.
Allegedly. What else do we got out here? Oh, we got Drake and Kendrick.
Yep.
You want to talk about that?
How do you guys feel? I saw Rick Ross was bumping like that. How do you guys feel? You guys think? Because I don't listen to Rick Ross a lot. So a lot of what I do know of him is like from like Drake features. No bullshit. Sorry if that's bad or whatever.
No. But that's an honest opinion, bro. This is what it is.
And I saw people saying that like a lot of his biggest hits were Drake features. Obviously, you're on a Drake song, so it's gonna be one of your biggest hits. But
he's a big writer himself, though.
Did you guys expect that? Was it like?
People need to understand.
Did you guys like that? Or like?
You said what? Sorry.
Was it expected that Rick Ross was kind of gonna be Team Kendrick?
So
fucking Avengers.
Before we get into that, okay, no, I didn't really expect it. If I'm being honest, no, I didn't. But like, same on this topic though. If this is over a bitch, bro, if this is really over a bitch,
I thought I saw Metro put out a tweet, like
and
airing it out, saying that it wasn't.
The
Okay.
shorty even said that it's not. But you know what? People are gonna say a lot of things like, "Oh, it's not about," but it really could be. We don't know. But I think it just has. Man, I feel like I'm like the spokesperson for Drake right now, wearing all this
Okay.
OVO, bro.
Yep, you are. You are.
Damn, but hey, Drake, all respect, all respect. And honestly, street code, I don't take sides of no beefs that I'm not involved in. So I'm not supposed to really have a side. I don't want to get involved in that. Because one day when we're at the Grammys and I want to work with one of you niggas, and then you pull up a receipt that, oh, you were red for me. I don't want none of that.
That'd
I
be
don't have
crazy.
no. I don't have
Imagine
no
fucking like 8 years from now, you're at the Grammys, sitting next to K Dot. He's like, "Yeah, I remember what you said." Pulls up the video clip.
like
It's just
whatever.
us
But
three fucking idiots sitting here.
Just chilling, just sitting at the. How we here, bro? How the fuck we get here?
no,
I-
but in all seriousness, I don't see Kendrick as being somebody who, if he doesn't like you, you're not moving weird in some way, shape, or form. Or if he doesn't respect you, you're not, you know. And to your point about being surprised about Rick Ross, I was initially, because Ross is not really the type of person to kind of get involved in a lot of like even when Meek Mill, his own artist, was involved, he was kind of like he didn't diss anybody, he didn't unfollow Drake at that point, kind of thing. But Ross did have a beef with Birdman. He had
right,
a beef with Baby,
right,
and Drake is affiliated with them,
right.
so it couldn't make sense. I just feel like there's word on the street that Drake moves a little different.
Yeah,
He's the Toronto underlord, bro. Nobody knows this shit. I know it. I'm airing it out. Fuck it. 4-time exclusive. Drake be running the Toronto underground, bro. I fucking know this shit, man.
word.
He runs it, bro.
Straight
He be
straight
killing
up.
motherfuckers.
No, but actually, no, straight up. Like people view like Drake is like Drake is like the freaking Rock. Like everybody loves the Rock. He thinks he's like the nice guy or whatever. Bro, the Rock is planning a hostile takeover of WWE right now as we speak, and nobody even realizes it. Like Drake is cold blooded.
Yep.
Drake is he's a cold blooded.
Drake killed X. I'm airing it out.
Bro, Drake has ties to
Allegedly,
No,
allegedly.
it's not a legend. He said, shot him in daylight. He shot him in daylight. Come on now.
No
It's not a
kidding.
legend. It's not a legend.
But yeah, Drake is plugged in. First of all, he has all of Toronto who will shoot for him.
Yeah.
Period.
Fuck it, most
If
of
you need
Canada.
somebody one, literally, like they will ride for him. He has Birdman, and we already know about Baby and how plugged in and gangsta Baby is, and he's plugged in Houston, Texas, with the Mob
Jay
Ties
Prince.
guy, with Jay Prince. So even if it's not him pulling the trigger personally, I wouldn't put it past me that he has something to be involved in certain situations, whether it's that serious or not. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I'll come back to this Drake Kendrick thing overall. I don't think they're I like going back to the not taking the sides thing, not knowing shit, obviously. So truly there is no beef to me right now. I'm gonna listen
No,
to
I
them
agree.
all, bro. You know what I mean? Like also like yeah, sure there's that little diss, bro, but like I don't know, we'll see what comes of it.
I don't
bro.
even think it was crazy. It's not like how Drake was beefing with motherfuckers back in, like, exposing that Drake had a son and shit. It's not like that. It was just, fuck Big Three. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm one. It's just
But I'll
me.
say this. I'll say this though. I'll say this though.
Most personal.
He said who outlived Mike Jack?
Yeah.
Prince.
Prince. Yeah.
So he's calling himself Prince because you
Yeah.
know he says I'm one away from Michael.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right? That's Drake, right?
Drake
That
always
bar
referred
right
to
there?
himself as MJ.
That's the one that made me go, oh, that was kind of cold.
Drake
bro."
once said,
But-
"Not sure if you know, but I'm actually Michael Jackson." That's him, bro. MJ's
Yeah,
not
that
dead.
nigga.
Yo, imagine it comes out. Drake's at a concert one day. He just goes, "It's MJ underneath the mask." Imagine that shit.
You know.
It's the fucking lead.
But I mean, to get back on that Kendrick Drake like them
Yeah.
two, there's actually a storied history behind it. Because AJ, you brought up a good point. Because you were like, "Yo, it seemed like that. You know, it was a verse, a couple bars in a verse or whatever. Maybe the verse was motivated at Drake, but it's a verse.
They
It wasn't
beef
like
for a while, right? Or no?
Kendrick's been on his neck from time.
Mm.
Kendrick has been on Drake's neck from time, and I don't think Drake was big enough to go there. Drake had to actually go bar for bar with Kendrick Lamar. I don't think he wanted to do it back then, but now that he's at a level where he's almost immortal, like then now I think now he can kind of go there or try to defend himself a little bit more. Back then, Drake did not respond to him. Kendrick called out the whole rap game on that Control verse with Big Sean. He called out everybody by name. He said, I'm better than Drake, I'm better than Jay, I'm better than Meek, I'm better. He said, all of you guys, I'm better than you. He called them all out by name. And very few of them replied. Drake didn't reply to him. Drake did not reply to him. So it's kind of funny now while people are like, dude, I saw a comment and somebody was like, oh, Drake could outdo Kendrick any day. He's not scared of Kendrick. I'm like, bro, he picked on Meek Mill, bro.
I think everybody's
Like, I
scared
love
of Kendrick.
But Kendrick, that's one person I don't. I if Pusha T could put and Push is serious too. Push is serious too. But Kendrick is one guy. Because I think Kendrick has he has a squeaky clean record too. Like, what does Drake possibly have against Kendrick other than numbers?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm just here for the entertainment, bro. I want
It's
motherfuckers
good.
to go at each other's necks, diss tracks. I need
It's
Drake
good.
to drop another back to back. I need him back in his old ways.
It's
would
good for
be
us
pure
media.
entertainment.
Us media folks.
Yep,
We
yep.
can
us
talk about it
simple
more.
folk.
Oh, we're part of the media now, huh?
Yeah. We're so
I'm a
now.
reporter.
So now we gotta hope and pray this motherfucker Drake drops this track, cause
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
gosh,
Honestly, all of this, I'm just more upset that we might not get a Cole and Kendrick song. That's what I'm more upset about.
You know what? Can I tell you something, bro? I don't think that's gonna. You said what's up, though?
I don't think when he called out Cole, I don't think that was necessarily personal. I think that was more the competition aspect of it. The Drake
Yeah.
part, I think, is personal. When he's referring to Drake, that's personal, in my
You
opinion.
think Cole's gonna like double down, stick with Drake?
No,
Cole's
I think
the type
Cole.
of dude to do it. I think Cole's the type of dude to do it. Like he's the type of dude to say, "All right, if everybody's against us, then let's do it." But I don't think he will.
I think he'll do it on his own behalf, though. Like he'll defend him. Like Cole's competitive.
Yeah.
Cole is a competitive rapper, and so if you want to go there with Cole, I'm sure he will go there. But whatever personal animosity that Kendrick and Drake have, I don't think Cole's gonna be like, well, I'm on Drake's side. I don't see him being that type of guy.
They're
But
gonna be like,
he'll come.
stop it, don't hurt Drakey.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you can't let nobody punk you. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're J. Cole.
Yeah, that's that. J. Cole's all peace, love, and positivity. Now that's a question. So let's say like if they were going back and forth like that, Cole or Kendrick, who's winning that? And I'm talking not just like who's going back and forth in terms of who has a better song. I'm talking about like if they're going at each other, trying to like pretty much kill each other verbally. Who you take?
I still have Kendrick personally. I think especially when he's like talking his shit and like coming at people, I think he's unbeatable, bro. It's actually insane. Cole is up there too. Don't get me wrong. Lots of respect for Cole. But holy fuck, man, Kendrick is insane.
I think that fight would go 12 rounds to decision, and it would come down to whoever had the last shot, the one more significant strike. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know who it would be. I don't. I think in my opinion, they're evenly matched. I don't think one is better than the other. I think they, in a sense, maybe not like stylistically, but like bar wise, I think that they're quite similar. I'm not saying that they write the same bars, but I'm saying that they have the same, in my opinion, same level of impact. Given you have some Kendrick songs where it's pretty fucking insane what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I just think I think Cole, there's times where like I go back and I listen through all the albums, right? And that Untitled album out of Kendrick was kind of weird, man. That shit, it was good, but it was like, but then I go to Cole and there's not really an album. KOD, is that the album or is that just the song on the album? That's the only album I can think that's forgettable of Cole.
Yeah.
But the 2014, I think it was, that Kendrick dropped that Untitled one that was literally just Untitled. And it was
kind of.
I was like, whoa. And
that
even
album forced you to be like, but the production though. But the production.
Yeah, right. Exactly, right. So Yeah, honestly, like it's truly one of those ones where I think if I take my bias of who I like more, I'd probably say Cole would win it. But I honestly don't. I think, like I said, it would go 12 rounds,
Oh yeah,
and whoever got that one
because
punch off in the last second is gonna win.
it's almost
So,
like the way that they be
my
spin sometimes is like damn near like yin and yang to me, because it's
Yeah.
like Kendrick, especially when he's coming at people, he'll sound mean. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
While Cole is still like flowing and like kind of elegant with it. And don't get me wrong, Kendrick's like elegant or whatever, right? Like he's spitting
Yeah.
bars, but the way he be saying shit is like coming at your neck. Well, Cole is like he's like floating around it, not like floating around it as in not coming at you, but it's just like you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
elegant with it. He's smooth with it.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
I was gonna say I feel
absolutely.
like Cole could definitely compete with him, and the things that he would be saying and how he would be saying it and how the song is constructed, yeah, it's worthy, it's matchable. The problem is, it's Kendrick is literally from the hood. Like
Yeah,
he may not have been doing all that stuff, but he from Compton. They're savages. Kendrick is not afraid to be disrespectful.
yeah,
Like really actually say some like I don't give a fuck type shit. And it's funny because Kanye actually kind of made a point when he's like, because I don't have no charges or because I didn't get into any of this drama stuff, I can say whatever I want. I don't have a muzzle on me. You know, I
yeah,
don't have to watch. So I can be as I can say whatever I want. All these other rappers, because they have cases and they have an image to uphold, they can lose it in a second because they've done stuff in the past or they have these other things that people can hold over them. They have to bite their tongue a little bit on certain things, or either they just have to face the consequences and just say, "Hey, F it, I'm dying by my sword and die." Kanye can say whatever he wants. Kendrick, because he largely witnessed everything happening in the hood and they kept him away from the streets like that. He can say, and he has that street cred too. It's not like he's like a soft. He has the streets respect him out in Cali. He doesn't have to check in nowhere. He can get disrespectful. Um, Cole can really say what he wants. I just don't think that's in his nature.
yeah. That's
I just
that's a
don't.
good point.
And so I think, yeah, like you're saying, it's a more meaner
Yeah,
with Kendrick.
Good thing.
Yeah,
I just hope it's entertaining, man. Diss
Yeah,
tracks are always like they're fun. You know what I mean?
they're
From
awesome.
Mhm.
as you said to me, from the media folk perspective here.
Hello, brother.
Yeah, I just think it's fucking entertaining, man. I mean, some diss
Absolutely.
tracks are some of the best songs from artists, and
Mhm.
like they're just iconic, bro. And they'll
I
always
agree.
take you back to that time. You'll be like, damn, you remember when these two were beefing? Da, 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 you dropped this and then this. And, oh man, it's just fucking fun.
yeah. So
Absolutely. My bad. I was just like making sure I didn't miss something on Twitter really quick that like we should talk about, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
well, fellas. I think we skipped over. We were gonna talk March Madness, but I don't really want to go back to sports after going through that whole thing. You know what I mean?
We're done with the '90s. Yeah, no, I agree.
We can, and also by the time of the next episode, we'll be a little bit more established into having like a. I think it will be what top 8 because they
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
Man, personally, my freaking PLS bracket got ruined by somebody. I just checked. I'm now eighth. Like I'm pretty much lost. I lost. So I don't even care anymore, bro. Like, go Houston. Unless they lost. Did they lose? Did they play? Let me see.
Houston. I thought the games were today, but I feel like I didn't see enough posting. Oh,
Check
there's
it
a
out real.
yeah. They're playing today or no tomorrow. I think.
Do you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Why does Google say 7:39?
Yeah, that's trolling. What the fuck? And the Gonzaga Purdue game is 5:39.
Dude, it's like
um.
college. Bro. Like in college, when I have to submit papers, they're like, "Okay, it's due by the end of the day, 11:59 p.m." I'm like, "Bro, come on, just it's 12. It's 12. Just say 12.
Stop playing. Yeah, yeah.
You get it."
Oh shit! I just realized.
But
You know, we were talking about Diddy. I have a, I have a Syracuse hoodie on, and you know,
New York.
well,
New York. New York.
one of the former basketball players.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
is yeah. That,
yeah.
I didn't know that there were different colors, or is it just the name, or is the pink cocaine actually pink, or is it just a name for it? Or
It's like it's. I'm pretty sure it actually is pink, but there
okay,
also is. I think it's actually just a different drug.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like what, like ecstasy and cocaine
Yeah, it
together or
is.
something.
Yeah, it is. It's a different color at least, like depending, We won't get
Yeah.
into drug talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
Interesting. Interesting. I was just
Uh,
asking, like, yeah, I was asking,
Yeah, about in GTA though. About in GTA, pink cocaine
in GTA.
in GTA.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you know that new. Yeah.
The new heist, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think that's a good place to call it there. I think it was a good pod. We made the most out of everything that happened, obviously, with the podcast. So
Love it.
I think it's a great podcast from the boys,
I agree. I agree.
the founders pod.
Wait,
The
the
founder.
founders, the OGs.
Love it.
Oh jeez. And on that, new life, take us away. Zelly,
All right,
did
yo,
you
I
have the last one?
appreciate y'all watching. It was a great time to chat with my brothers here today. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Obviously, we appreciate you guys watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave some comments, share, all that good shit. And we will see you guys next Monday.
Peace.
Those.